she's an actress for sure. They're talking about when she was like, when they were like, "Are you okay?" And she's all, "Oh no, this girl." She'd really been suffering. She's in Africa getting her picture taken, and she's the one suffering. Ooh. She just wanted them to constantly just set everything straight and fix every tabloid story and make everything picture perfect for her. You know, she just wanted, oh my god. She's just like a girl who's pissed, like a college girl who's pissed off that people are saying shit about her. That's what, like, instead of her understanding her place in the world that she accepted, she's just like acting outraged that, well, why didn't you tell them what they said was wrong? Why didn't you tell them it was a lie? Why didn't you stick up for me? That's basically, I was suffering because there was like stories and nobody was fixing it. Okay, there's no way he wasn't gonna be safe. He wasn't gonna get security. Well, oh, it's because she was relinquishing the title. Well, yeah. If you want to be Archie Kid, you know, Archie from the block, then Archie from the block doesn't get security. It's just like she wants to have her cake and eat it too. Yeah, I want to be royal, but don't mind my business. Don't take my picture. Don't write tabloid stories about me that aren't true, okay? I want to be like one of the most famous people on the planet. But don't let the tabloids say stuff. Look, people in this country don't want President Trump to have security because they don't like him, okay? It's stupid. But the fact is, if they were trying to say they didn't want their kid to be a prince, or they didn't want their kid to be whatever, they didn't want him to have a title, they wanted him to raise him as a regular kid, and they're like, oh, fine, go raise a regular kid without security. I mean, that's a decision you're making. I mean, come on, the money, you've got money to have security for your kid if you, I mean, I don't understand what she's thinking or what she wants. She's, I don't get it. She wants some kind of extreme special treatment without having to put anything in. You know, I want to be royal, but I don't want to be royal. Don't expect me to act like royalty and do the things royalty's always done. But I still want to be royalty, and I want to have all the advantages of that, and I want my kid to have the advantages of that. But don't expect us to act like royals. I don't. She's like, she brought up compartmentalizing before. Maybe she's got a little this going on, you know? Why did they want to change the convention for Archie? Because you're changing everything. You're not wanting Archie to be one of them. Yeah, see, they didn't want to do these protocol things that royals have always done, but they still wanted to be royals. And it's like, well, then that's the job. The job of royalty is they don't rule anything. Their job is to just be figureheads. If you don't want to be figureheads and have your picture taken, then you don't want to do the job. That's the job. Snubbing their nose. Yeah, exactly. What it is then? What it is? They're offering up their baby. Yeah, they're giving it to the Night King. To turn it into White Walker. Oprah bringing in the race card. Here she comes, trotting it out. I don't know how princes work when it's like the second Bananas kid. I don't even know how those things go. So I'm not gonna get involved in whether she's crackhead or not. But everybody but Oprah and Megan were having that conversation. The way she pauses and searches with her eyes makes me think these. I'm not buying some of the stuff she's saying. Somebody said something, but she's making it seem like they had meetings about it. She's being she's kicking up shit. She's leaving mysteries for people to talk about. She just wants to be talked about constantly. That's what this is about. She wants to be ultra famous. She tried to do it by way of marrying into royalty. Then she didn't want to be royalty. She didn't want to do the job. A. She's on TV with Oprah. She's sitting in a gorgeous thing, the gorgeous garden over here. Everybody's paying attention to her. She's smarter than me, I guess. What color is she? Because you know what? I'm looking at a white chick. Remember, I went through this kind of crap with people, my whole family being browner than me, and I'm supposed to be thinking stupid things about white people, and at some point I was like, this is ridiculous. When I was in college, when I got to be a freshman in college, and for some reason I knew a lot of other people that were half something else. They were half white and half something. And it seemed like it was a pattern for kids who were half something else to really over identify with the more with the not white side, because I think sometimes amongst friends and stuff like that you feel a need to not to prove that you're whatever the other race is, and you don't want people to think you're acting white, or you're you know what I mean. I never cared about that stuff, so I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm me. But it does seem like a lot of times people who are mixed race or light skinned or whatever, they overly make a stink about being a minority and really exert they need to show everybody how proud they are of their, so they, you know, instead of being 50-50, they try to act like they're 90% or 95%, you know, the minority half. And I'm not saying that's what she's doing. I'm just like, you know, she's making too much about race. I know Oprah brought it up. Of course, Oprah was going to bring it up, but Leading questions. You know what I'm saying? Oprah's no dummy. Commercial break. I'm just talking over it now. It's just, I mean, I think she's full of it to the extent that she doesn't know she's full of it. Harry needed his mom. She really comes off as incredibly entitled and spoiled. Entitled to the point where being royalty is like below her. It's really strange. Like she's like an unrealistic view, or just it doesn't even make sense of what she thought she was getting into marrying a prince. I mean, I don't know where the bullshit starts because either it could all, I mean, how can you, she wants us to believe she was this knave and had no clue. Now I bought it with Princess Diana because Princess Diana was sort of sheepish, and she was a school teacher, wasn't she? And not that she didn't know like what being royalty was, because she did the royalty part, but thinking that it was all going to be princess stuff and that you weren't going to get cheated on by your husband in the monarchy. That to me, I was always like, you silly. You didn't see that coming? I mean, how do you become a princess and not know that's the job? So with Diana, I had a hard time believing it, but I was like, yeah, okay, I guess you were that naive. This one, you can't be that naive in the last 10 years. The world, there's too much information in the world. I know that that was the 80s, and the 80s were, there was no internet in the 80s. There was no, you know, this is a divorcee who went to school for international studies, was an actress, and she's not I mean, I'm not buying her shit right now, so I don't know how good of an actress she is, but um unless she's buying her own crap, because I'm telling you, which she seems to be doing, she seems to be confident in her. There's no way you don't know. All right, it's coming back. She's acting like they were supposed to protect her. She just needs to get a grip and just get in the real world, and they don't protect anybody from the tabloids. They've never protect, there's no such thing as protecting from the tabloids. This is ridiculous. Oh, she didn't want to be alive anymore. Cut the crap. Oh my god. Oprah's looking at her like, Oprah looks like she's gonna pop a cap in her ass. Oprah, I have never seen Oprah look that suspicious at anybody. And Oprah will later on say, oh no, I believed every word she said. Oprah's face is incredulous. I want to hear what Oprah says later on, but her face is incredulous. Unless Oprah's got a weird face now compared to the one she used to have. I'm starting to think she thought going to the royal family was going to be like going to daycare where she would have nap time and cookies or something. I don't. She wanted a union to protect her.
wasn't a choice. This was emails and begging for help, saying very specifically,
I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing.
people going, oh, yes, yes, it's disproportionately terrible when you see
There are
it.
women who
Nothing
are
else.
stalked by former husbands and boyfriends who go to police and they can't get real protection. They have the worst time getting a restraining order. Those restraining orders don't do anything half the time. And that's women who can't get protection from a threat.
So were you
And she's over here, they're
thinking
not protecting me from the tabloids.
thoughts? Yes,
Don't read it.
very clear.
Ignore it.
Very clear and very scary. And,
I'm sorry, lady. I'm like starting to really dislike
I
you.
reached out to, who's continued to be a friend and confidant, was one of my husband's mom's best friends, one of Diana's best friends. Because it's like, who else could understand
Oh my god, she's laying it on so
the
thick.
inside? Did you ever think about
Anybody, oh my god,
going to a hospital?
anybody who believes a woman like this, you're gonna marry a woman like this, your life's gonna be miserable. Oh my god, you're gonna get a best friend like this, she's gonna steal your husband. She is.
To the palace. Yeah. You couldn't just go. You couldn't. I mean, you have to understand as well. Was when I joined that family, that was the last time until we came here.
My least favorite kind of person is a phony.
My driver's
You can
license
do a lot of crap in this world. I cannot stand a phony.
turned over. I didn't see any of that anymore. Well, the way you're describing this, it's like you were trapped and couldn't get help, even though you're on the verge of suicide. That's
She's
what
literally.
you're describing. That's what I'm hearing. Yes. And that would be an accurate interpretation. Yes. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, and if you think about, it was one of the things that it's so,
There are people who will commit suicide because they broke a nail.
someone had said to me, we had to go to an official event.
I do not make fun of suicide, okay? I do not make fun of anybody who wants to commit suicide. Life is a horrible, horrible, hard thing, and people have really hard lives. And
God, you guys.
there are people all over this world who have committed suicide because of lockdown, because of what has happened. There are people who commit suicide because they can't take it anymore. I understand those people. I know what it's like to be those kind of people. But somebody who is sitting there, and I don't believe for 1 second this chick thought about suicide. That's the problem. If she really did,
It wasn't even, I don't want to.
everything about her is coming across as totally phony. And I can't stand anybody who, people who
This isn't some abstract idea. This is
try to
methodical.
line up with real victims in this world. They piss me off.
But we had to go to this event, and I remember him saying, I don't think you can go. And I said, I can't
This is the same kind of thing.
because you were afraid of what you might do to yourself.
Oprah's buying her shit. Come on, Oprah.
She went.
You're smarter than that.
That, so sorry to hear that. And that picture, if you zoom in, what I see is how tightly his knuckles are gripped around mine. You can see the whites of our knuckles because we are smiling and doing our job, but we're both just trying to hold on. And every time those lights went down in that royal box, I was just weeping. And he was
I
like,
hate the word privilege. I hate when people throw around the word privilege, but
the lights are about to come on. Everyone's looking at us again, and you have to just be on again. And that's, I think, so important for people to remember is you have no idea what's
I'm
going on.
sorry. I have an amazing bullshit detector, okay? I have had one my whole life.
People that
It has never gone off like this, okay? It sounds like a million sirens in my head. Oh my god. If people are buying this,
potentially
like I said, I don't like this world. I want off of it because everybody's so full of shit. If people buy this,
who earlier today had said to Harry that he didn't want to be alive anymore. Yeah, and just hours before, just sitting on the steps in our cottage, just sitting there and then going, okay, well, go upstairs and put your makeup bag in your
remember
suitcase.
when Annie Hall calls Alfie over to kill the spider?
Mental health series for Apple. Yeah, so we hear of
I'm such a weak female.
you
Ooh.
have to go through that. It takes so much courage to admit that
Mm-hmm.
you need help. It takes so much courage to voice that. There isn't a
So brave. So strong. Oh my god, I don't like her at all. Oh my god.
that you need help to admit how horrible a place you're in.
Well, how do you feel
Diana,
about the
save your
conversation
boy.
you speak your truth today? Are you afraid of a backlash or their reaction?
And that is the second half hour. Oh man. I do not like this girl at all. Sorry.